This course has been a wonderful experience and has given me insight into the vast range of literacies in our community. This class has forced me to step back and journey into the world from a different perspective, a literacy perspective. We began by defining the basic terms that are important when studying literacy. We looked into literacy events, which are any activity that includes the written word to communicate, and into tools, which are what we use to aid us in this communication. We even took an ecological approach into literacy, where interactions through writing and symbols have implications on the natural world and human consequences that follow. We then took this to practice in our literacy log, which is posted on the left of the portfolio and gave insight into the range of literacies in our everyday lives. Next, in Unit 2, we dove into the history of writing and the social history of literacy. We learned of the early stages of literacy, such as cave paintings, and into some of the earliest forms of documented writing, such as the Bible. Many of the powerful institutions back then feared the power of literacy possessed. Within literacy comes critical thinking, an environment that is not strictly consumers. Next, the importance of the background of each individual's literacy was emphasized. This means that each individual has different backgrounds, and the education that best suits them is dependent on this background. This was known as literacy in persons. In Unit 3, we looked into the changing of our literacy world into a knowledge economy, and the importance of certain literacies within this changing world called powerful literacies. A knowledge economy means that our economy has shifted from a reliance on physical labor to a reliance on mental labor. Jobs now require current knowledge of important literacies, and many more of these requirements at that. These important literacies are called powerful literacies. The powerful literacies have also changed within our economy into more knowledge-based and electronically based literacies. With this shift in economy and powerful literacies, our educational system must also progress to accommodate for these changes and provide our youth with access to learn these powerful literacies. Unit 4 delved into the process of learning to read and write. This forced me to look back on my experiences with learning to read and write, which I had never thoroughly done prior. The many pathways to reading and writing arose in my investigation, but I noticed that there were common methods regardless of age, culture, or literacy in persons. This also looked into how many situations can inhibit an individual to learn how to read and write at an early age, such as depression, residential schools, or being forced to drop out of school for various reasons. For the most part, there were consistently positive memories involved with this process, but we must not make the same mistakes we have made in the past with things like residential schools. We must embrace all backgrounds of literacy and culture and best suit our educational approaches to each individual's needs. Unit 5. We proceeded into adult literacy. The learning of literacy in adults proved to have importance in pedagogical practices like working in small groups, providing immediate feedback, reciprocal teaching, and having encouraging, fluent oral reading tutors. What I personally found most interesting in this article was not that the learning itself, but the behavioral changes that need to take place prior to the learning of literacies. The most important behavioral change could be self-efficacy. Self-efficacy, along with supportive relationships with your teachers, are two keys to setting a good base for adults to effectively learn literacies. These adults must still learn literacies and essential skills for their jobs. As our society turns more digital, the entire population must keep up. Finally, Unit 6 looked into the future of literacy and focused on some powerful digital literacies. The future of literacy, as previously mentioned, will be centered around the online world. The use of these digital literacies also evolve. An interesting topic that we covered was Web 2.0. Web 2.0 consists of literacies such as blogs, wikis, or gaming, where there is an interaction and participation involved. This participation creates critical thought and input that prevents a consumer-based environment that has often been the case with the majority of previous literacies. All in all, this course took me through a wide range of topics to do with literacy and certainly gave me a new perspective on our society and with that, our educational system. This course taught me about the importance of literacy in my everyday life and the importance of it for meaningfully connecting with my society.